My coworkers set me up, but I got revenge with HR. Alright, so let me take you through the most nerve-wracking weeks of my life at this office. Imagine your typical corporate 9 to 5 grind with fluorescent lights humming and coffee machines that churn out weak coffee that tastes like disappointment. That's where I worked, in this bland office in Chicago. We were a tight-knit team, or at least that's what I thought until the whole thing went down. I worked in this marketing department with a group of women who were, and I'm putting this nicely, obsessed with office politics. We called ourselves the Fab Five, though in hindsight, I should have seen the irony. Everything seemed fine, you know. We'd all grab lunch together at this cute little deli around the corner and Snapchat our sad desk lunches like we were on some culinary adventure. But there was this underlying tension all along that I was oblivious to. It all started when I got this huge project, like career-defining, kind of massive. I was stoked, obviously, but turns out my supposedly fab coworkers weren't exactly happy for me. So they decided to set me up. I mean, they were straight up plotting like this was some kind of Office Wars episode. One day, I noticed all these weird glitches on my computer. Files would disappear, emails would get mixed up, stuff like that. I thought I was going crazy. Jenny, one of my coworkers, would say, "Oh, you probably just misclicked," with this smug look on her face. But Patty, our team lead, was writing me about missing deadlines and being unorganized. It was like I was constantly on trial, and honestly, I was starting to crack. Then one Friday afternoon, Patty calls me into her office and flat out accuses me of leaking confidential information. She had these printed emails as proof, and my heart just dropped. But as I looked at them, something clicked. The emails were way too perfect, too orchestrated. They felt staged. I realized that my so-called friends were setting me up to fail. At this point, I was half crying, half raging, and I knew I needed to do something before this whole thing got even messier. So I took a deep breath and went straight to HR. I mean, I was terrified. I'd never been the confrontational type, but this was my job and my reputation on the line. I laid everything out for HR, every little detail I could think of. HR was surprisingly supportive and agreed to investigate. They asked for access to our computer logs. Meanwhile, I kept my head down and tried to just do my job, but inside I was a mess. It was like waiting for a storm to hit. A couple of weeks later, HR called me in again, but this time it was different. They had found evidence that my coworkers had been tampering with my system and forging emails. They even used the office printer to run off the evidence against me. Talk about dumb criminal moves. The relief was indescribable. HR assured me that appropriate actions would be taken, though they couldn't share specific details due to privacy policies. Slowly but surely, things started to unravel for my coworkers. One by one, they were called in for meetings that lasted hours. And then, just like that, Jenny and 2 others from the Fab Five were gone, fired for misconduct. Patty was reassigned, which I suspect was code for demoted than me. Well, I didn't exactly trust anyone there anymore, so I started looking for a new gig. I found a job with a tech startup where coffee actually tastes like coffee and coworkers don't try to sabotage your life. But I'll never forget the lesson from that time. It taught me to trust my gut and watch my back. The best part, I left knowing I took a stand, and that, my friends, is worth 1,000 office politics games.